Now today we've had a few, not many, but a few.
Right.
So we'll see if there's any fatigue factor going on. And you can see a little movement there from Shane, like the scratch. Like that's even though he knows he's going to scratch sometimes, that's very uncharacteristic to see him kind of, please get out of there kind of thing. So
using a little body English.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right way to say it, body English. Okay, he's going to come one rail right towards the 4. That's perfect. Much more committed stroke there.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable there. That was your trouble position right there, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Stay off the rail here just a hair. Okay. I think he would have rather had an angle here and bounced off to shoot the 6 in the corner rather than having to draw back here. But only reason being is if you overdraw or underdraw here and you land near this rail, well, now you could have a little bit of issues with the 8 and 9 maybe. Oh, yeah, perfect. Kept off the rail with the cue ball. And that's what you want. You want to get nice and heavy on the 6 here. All right, here Shane in prime position just to coast forward with the cue ball. I talked about it the last couple of days. He's, Dennis, of course, also, but Shane, of course, one of the best ever, if not the best ever, at regrouping it, and getting things back together after a few mistakes.
All right, so Shane takes an 11-game lead at 93-82.
Now Shane's flirted with that side pocket a couple times here in his last few breaks.
I was here Thursday when we came in to set everything up, Jeremy. He was in here practicing, and I probably watched him break 40, 50 times, and I never saw what just happened there, the one ball not go in the side. Every single time, the one ball went in the side.
Okay, it looks like to me here he may use the 9 to slow the cue ball down because he doesn't want to go past the 2 here and have to try and get back up for the 3. Like if he puts inside here, and voids the 9, he probably gets going too fast.
Right.
So I think coming one rail up into the 9 ball is the shot, I think. The good thing about that shot, too, is you can put a hair of outside and be aggressive with the stroke. You don't have to dink it, right? Go ahead and use the 9 to slow the cue ball down. Oh, got away from him.
You think that's what he was trying to do?
Yeah, he was definitely trying to. He may have gotten to where he can cut this and actually have a clean alley to move the cue ball 2 rails up. Yeah, a little inside here. You hit about a foot before the 4, and then you shouldn't have any problems with the 9 ball. Straight English, the 9's involved here. Inside, though, he's okay.
Great shot.
And it's going to get a little thin. No, it held up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So now in a great position. Center of the table. And this one here, don't try to get too much angle. This table can get away from you on this shot, and you can get behind the 9. Yeah, he played for very small angle. I think it's very smart. Well, see how it keeps going, though, a little bit, right? He's got a choice. He can go high inside, 3 rails between the 6-9. Let his stroke out like that, no problem.
Looks so effortless.
Yeah.
So a couple people asking here, Jeremy, on the Moscone this year.
Yeah.
What are the watching options? DAZN, right?
DAZN, yeah.
Okay.
DAZN, DAZN, however they say it.
Yeah.
You got a little straight here, Mark. A little bit straight. You may have to punch this because I think if he draws it, there's that slight angle going into the 9 with the cue ball. So this will have a little speed here.
Shot.
One rail down, it looks like. And I've seen that a few times where he just lets up a little bit on the stroke, it seems like. Not quite getting through it. Or getting at it, you might say, for Shane.
So when we were watching the first couple of days and even y'all's match yesterday and today, it looked like a lot of people were overrunning that. Do you think his stroke not following through is maybe the table's playing a little fat?
Oh my
goodness.
And watch out now. That might. Oh, and he scratched? Wow.
Huh. So I was just wondering if maybe the reason he looks like he's not following through all the way. I don't think so, right? I mean, that he would adjust that other ways, right? You still keep the same tempo. And
Yeah, most likely, yeah. But yeah. I don't think it was guarding against the table a little bit, even though I think these guys have picked up on it. It seems like it's a hair faster going towards the spot there, but very surprising there.
And that's what Dennis needs. Now Dennis needs to, go on his own little run here.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of opportunity comes about from that big mistake. I mean, it's usually one that costs you much more than one game, much more than one game with these guys.
Right.
Oh my, 2 kisses and said, here you go, Shane, shake that off.
Yeah. And you heard Dennis say that, kick.
Yeah.
The 2 kisses, that's what he was upset about. Got kicked twice.
And he knows, not just because of that happening, of course, but after missing that 9, making up quite a few games today so far anyways, that, a ball in hand, we always say it, that kind of wakes somebody up more than anything. Oh, he overcut that a little bit. Yeah, and speeds off to a little bit of a tight pocket on the 2 maybe. And for Shane, it's been a long few days for him, of course. He put in a lot of energy, expended a lot of energy yesterday. I really don't ever label things, Harley, for him with fatigue.
Right.
Just because he stays in good shape and he's used to many hours on the pool table, whether it be training or playing. So, but the one thing is physically, I think, but he hadn't played a lot in the pandemic, so maybe something mentally a little bit draining.
Right. I was talking with a gentleman that's here outside earlier about, he said, man, I'm trying to figure out how these guys do this. He goes, I play with my buddies at my house, and we play for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm spent. He's like, I'm exhausted. I don't know how these guys do this. And I said, sir, it's not just here. When they leave here, they're going somewhere else, or they're somewhere else before they come here, and they're just I'm sure both of them were somewhere when you guys were playing y'all's match today, hitting balls.
Right.
And then they come in here and do this for 5-6 hours after that. So, Jeremy, if you don't mind, man, explain what's a practice routine like for somebody at Shane or Dennis's level. I mean,
they're all a little different. Shane, of course, famous for practicing his break for many hours at a time. Besides the break, he practices some rotation. He does a lot of one-ball drills. He likes to set up some shots he has to use to work on his timing for his stroke. I don't see Shane using multi-ball drills too often. There's a couple there that, but the ones that have like 10 balls on the table and stuff like that, you won't see that from Shane very often. There's a few drills we use with a couple balls on the table that I like a lot that he also uses. But just a lot of hours, One thing that I think the difference is, on a professional level, Mark, is You know, we don't have our coaches with us, or if we do have coaches with us all the time, Shane doesn't really, I wouldn't say Shane really has a designated coach as far as, you know, year round.
Right.
So the one thing Shane is very good at, like most great players, is no matter how they practice, they pay attention to every shot they hit.
Right.
Meaning what's going on, how they hit the ball, how the ball's reacting, and getting very into every shot. Yeah, Rob Hart. Oh, look at this. Somebody made a comment about Kevin Hart's brother. Yeah, Rob Hart, actually, I was texting him yesterday. Very good pool player from the Philadelphia area. Great guy. Always a lot of fun. Now, Shane rarely rolls out and ties balls up. I'm not saying you can do it here, but he could roll out and kind of rub the side of the 7 maybe and kind of put a little bit on top of the 4 and come down this end rail and leave a real long, tough shot on the 2. But I don't know what else he's really got. Looking at a jump shot of some sort, it appears. But as far as the practice part, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters how you practice, don't get me wrong. There's value in a lot of good ways to practice.
You know, something you told me years and years and years ago when we first met, Jeremy, has always stuck with me. And you asked me one night, we were just hitting balls around, and you said, you want me to tell you what the difference between an amateur and a professional is? And I said, yeah. And you said, an amateur practices until they get it right. A professional practices until they never get it wrong. And
right.
That's always stuck with me. So just imagining the hours you guys put into to practicing this.
When I played, which I always consider myself a player that needed more practice. Just, I don't know why, I just kind of felt that way. But I liked practicing 7, 8, 9 hours a day back in the day. You hit a higher level, I think, if you can keep your, in shape well enough and you can keep your mental, like where you're paying attention to everything you're doing. You just hit a higher level, which is experience in a higher level, which is very important when it comes to improving. All right, tough one here.
Yes, it is.
Could whiff this one because he's got to hit it thin and he's going to be jumping. Oh, great hit.
Shot. No, All right, guys, this is Mark Gonzalez with Rackham TV. Jeremy, thank you so much. I'm going to step out of the booth and
Mark, thanks
let another one of these professionals come in here with you.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Okay, he's got to shoot this and come all the way down the table unless he wants to roll this in and play a rail first on the 4, which takes you to the 6. So he's got some options here. Sometimes the players, though, they won't recognize the rail first in this position. They'll try to put a lot of speed on the cue ball, come all the way up and down. Now, Shane, like I said, very sharp guy. He's going to give it a look because he would rather just roll this in and go the end rail. And now joining us, Chip Compton.
What's up, Jeremy? How's it going, brother?
Good. Seen some differences and, things go on today that we hadn't seen in the last few days, meaning a few misses here and there.
A little fatigue, you think? Or
well, I think it had to be more mental fatigue, just losing your focus more than physical. Yeah. Dennis, of course, hits lots of balls. Shane stays in great shape, usually ready for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this shot here. You can come all the way back down, but he also could just come off the rail to the head string and play a rail first on the 4.
First, yeah, that's probably what I would do.
And that leads you towards the 6 pretty easy too, right?
Shoot it in the opposite corner.
Yeah, and I was just saying it also, even some top players sometimes won't recognize they can play a rail first shot in that sense. They'll try to force the cue ball all the way back down for shape.
Yeah.
Now, the one good thing, if he felt good about it, nothing wrong with falling on this little cross-corner bank down here off the bottom rail on the 4 also, right?
Yeah, especially as good as they both bank.
Yeah, and it leads you towards the 6 pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what you said first, though, the rail first
rail
thing.
First, right.
Table, and, it looks everything pretty natural.
I think he wants to go to the end rail, so maybe come bounce off and get around the head string area, something like that. Get you some of that. That's got to go a little bit. He's at least going to get rail first, but what a shot.
A great shot.
Huh? He said, heck with all of it. I'm going to plan C.
Yeah. I would've never thought of that.
That was never in my arsenal. I mean, I know that shot, but the way it laid right there, that wasn't one of my options, I don't think, anyways.
Yeah, what a great shot that was.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had a few mistakes, glaring mistakes for Shane. And
Yeah, I think I walked in when he missed that 9 a minute ago.
Yeah. Anyway, the one that really cost fairly early is he got on top of the 9 on an unbelievable run out he made. I mean, oof. And see, he's just struggling on little things, like it's like not taking much, and it's getting away from him a little bit, but he almost had a talking to with himself.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
He may have got away with this. You think he can shoot that in the corner? Or?
Well, we'll have a look here. See, there's a little gap there, and he's got a little angle, so he can shoot away from it a little bit, but the rail's there, right? So you can't go through with the cue very much.
Yeah.
He could feather this and try to go behind the 8. I like him shooting it myself. He's been overcutting shots down the rail a little bit the last hour or so.
Yeah.
A 2-ball he missed after the break earlier was very surprising to me. Of course, I'm surprised with either one of these guys miss.
I am too. Anytime they miss a ball, it's like, wow. Dennis has made a nice little comeback, though, for as far as he was down yesterday.
Well, I think Dennis, to be honest with you, I think he's leveled the playing field when it comes to the break.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's figured out enough of a break to where he's, on paper, just maybe even or just percentage points behind Shane when it comes to breaking him in this 9-ball.
Yeah, it's still a long race, too, so.
Oh, yeah. I think he's got to shoot at this, Chip. I really do. Get past that point. Should be okay. Yeah, that's another thing I was going to say. He had enough angle to maybe play a 2-way. What a shot, though.
He did play a 2-way, didn't he?
Yeah.
Still got a little work left here. Think he shoots this one in the corner? Or?
I think so. I think he goes to the side rail. He's not flirting with a scratch, I don't think at all. And I don't think you can label it struggling or for Shane. I think you could just it's just not right now. You know, this is off a little
Maybe
bit,
a couple
right?
mental errors.
Yeah, and just one thing led to another. A few goofy games, and a lot of credit to Dennis. He broke around a lot of racks today.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them in a row, but
yeah.
Well, this is going to get a little funny also unless it really runs, which it does come this way a little bit, in my opinion.
The balls are rolling out a ton, aren't
this
they?
way. Yeah. This table reminds me of the table that used to be at Skinny's, the TV table that rolls towards the parking lot. Just a hair. Yeah. And the weird thing is when you shoot across the table, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't seem like, rolling off. And it just seems like coming down towards the spot, it's a hair faster.
Keeps rolling, doesn't it?
Well, if you watch it go the other way, that's when you can really tell because it'll hold up a lot more.
Yeah, it's like it's going uphill.
Yeah, just a little bit. So now 12-game lead.
What they started at, Shane, was that 14 games to start the day?
66, 80 to 66.
I bet Dennis wishes he had that. You know that game where the 9-6 was tied up and he had ball in hand? So he had the ball in hand to get it to 8 games there, and bet he wishes he had that one back.
I think I do remember that
where
game.
Where Shane made the bad hit on the jump shot.
Yeah.
I think he missed the 6 or something, but.
Yeah, he missed it up in the corner when Shane tried to play safe. He hung it in the upper left-hand corner. Now, Shane went back to what seems like, unless it's not on purpose, a little thinner hit on the 1. Yesterday. Now, that's the one he was hitting yesterday. You see how much travel he's getting on the 2, how fast it was moving around the table?
Yeah.
And now he's just perfect to come 3 rails. May have to get a little thin on the 4, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a 20-25 minute break at as soon as someone gets to 100 games. It's going to be good. A little bump on the
Just a little.
Thought it was going to be all right.
Yep.
He was wanting to get that bounce off that fourth rail to not be so thin on the 4, and it cost him a little bit here.
Mm-hmm. What do you like here? You like thinning it and going up table? Or?
I think he's a little more above it, Chip. Now, these guys can really maneuver real well when they're close to the ball like this, so he can probably still get enough on it and not lose the 4 ball. He's going to zigzag. He's going to go 2 rails with a bunch of right.
Yeah, I like that shot. Maybe try to get behind the 7.
Yeah, and really spin it. That way the 4 doesn't come out on you. Really put the right English here. Throw it back as much as you can. That looks like perfect speed to me.
Yeah,
that's a nice shot.
Great shot there.
And I'll tell you what, the jump is cut off a little bit by the 9 also. 2 rail kick with a little swerve here up underneath it.
Yeah.
And I've always found the key to hitting this ball more solid and more accurate as much as possible is don't worry about getting the 4 all the way back down table. If you get the snooker, the 4 in the middle of the table is going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And you might slide behind the 5. Well, no business there for Dennis. We're going to see a heavy draw stroke again from Shane.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can he maybe pinch it back an inch or 2 and just take the 5 in between the 8 and 9?
Yeah, there may be a gap there, huh?
If he's not afraid to let it out, though. He
He's
drew
really
it like
not.
14 feet earlier on that.
Really?
On that, yeah, 2 ball, 1 ball getting back to the 2. I think no 5 ball getting back to the 6.
Yeah.
He was up off the end rail about 4 or 5 inches. The ball was down here about where the 5's at now, and he drew it all the way up into the middle.
Yeah, he likes to let it out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which I like that anyways. I think you're better off doing that.
And he's looking at that now. And I'll tell you, the thing about it is he can't just let it out and draw back to the end rail and let it rip on up the table because the 8-9 also.
Yeah, he kind of wants to be straight on the 5, huh?
Well, I think he's going to try and shoot the gap maybe. I don't know, Chip. I mean, if he can pinch it back comfortably in between the 8 and 9, that's a nice 3-rail angle to come around for the 7. So,
yeah.
And the 5's near the pocket, so you don't mind shooting that too much when it's near the pocket. He's drawing it, though, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He needs some left on it. Is he going to get a friendly bump or no bump? Watch out, side pocket. See ya.
Oh, wow.
And he's snookered.
He is snookered.
We've seen it all in this match, I'll tell you that.
Wow. I mean, he hit it good, really. He may have needed a little more spin on that one, but
yeah,
he put a good stroke on it.
Oof. Now what? Curve at it? Try and make it? It's not a hard curve shot, really.
No.
Not too hard.
And honestly, he's pretty fortunate he didn't scratch there.
Yeah.
Just have any kind of shot.
He's like, again, though, I just went 13 feet with the cue ball and I get here.
That is hard to do.
He's looking at the jump. Look at this guy trying to jump the point. I'd love to soft curve this in and just get any piece of the 7 to look at here. He could 2-rail kick softly trying to lay on the 5. That's a hard shot.
Behind it,
yeah, that's a hard shot to pull the trigger on.
Yeah, the speed's got to be so perfect.
Yeah.
That would be. I kind of like that shot, though.
He can kick it to the end rail with a lot of bend coming back at it. I don't mind that either. Yeah. I was saying he could, I don't mind shooting out to the top rail with a lot of bend coming back at that. I feel like I can be fairly accurate getting at that ball.
Yeah, at least make
low right. You can get to hit it with some speed, maybe get lucky. This is probably do or die on the curve, but that's, that's part of it. Yeah. The key to this curve is you'd like to not have to let up on it, but Because the cue ball could follow down and maybe double kiss it in. Like if it 5 bobbles, the cue ball could come with it a little bit and double kiss it maybe, or get on top of it. You know, something might happen.
I like his chances of making it, though, shooting the mass A right here.
Yeah, I do too. Key is, again, don't let up on it. You know, you don't blast it, but don't baby it too much because you could slide down that rail. Like, not bad. And he got a little piece of the 7, I believe.
It's a really good shot from Shane there. Nice recovery, but
Well,
got a lot of work.
yeah, who knows what he might do here.
I wonder if he can see it.
I think he's got a little the left side of it.
Hard to tell from here.
Well, if he can put left spin on it, he may be able to wrap the corner and come down here to the right side rail and fall below the 9 and leave a tough long shot. He might be able to. There's a scratch sitting there coming off the 7, though, in that upper left-hand corner that's awfully huge. And I think you need left spin on this to be able to get by the 9, you know, come tight like that. So. I'll tell you what, I mean, I know he can see a piece of it. I don't know. Full cue jump bank ain't the worst thing in the world to me. I don't know. You might luck it in. I mean, this is a tough shot to go down with right here. Thinning it or even letting it come up a little bit and trying to leave him long.
Yeah, I just don't like that either.
Yeah, that's tough, right? Yeah, you figured, right? I know that sounds crazy, the jump bank, but, I mean, you're giving yourself a chance to win. I figure he's going to hit it pretty solid. It might go 2 rails up and down, you know. I mean, considering where you're at, you just got corner hooked, you made the 5. I like him trying to make this bank, or he's jumping it.
Yeah, he is.
Well, he took the short cue. I thought he could jump it with a full, like his break cue maybe, like he does sometimes.
Yeah.
The thing about cutting it, he's got an element of getting safe running the cue ball. Something might happen. Oh. Yeah, if he doesn't get another kiss here, he might get safe. Wow. Nah, he's got a little bit of an angle, I think. Wow, Dennis was going to have to come with one heck of a shot if that ball didn't kiss right there. Now Dennis deciding, hey, he doesn't want to get all the way over here on the rail. So he doesn't have a ton of angle to get close to the 8. Oh, what's going on now? Again, though, me and Joey talked about it earlier. Only seen it a couple times, but that was a really jabby, quick stroke from. He usually, like Dennis, what's so strong about Dennis is he usually lets the little angles develop instead of trying to force off of them, you know.
Man, I mean, I know all these games are big, but that's a big game there.
Especially because Shane, you know, it's almost like he's still trying to get out of a little bit of a funk that he had there for about 45 minutes or an hour.
Update the score for you guys. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
96-83.
Oh, he got a friendly kiss on the 1 to keep it near the cue ball. Is it going to give him anything? Yeah, I think he can edge this and go behind the 4 probably. No, he can't. Look at this other camera angle. That's much better. Maybe he can't get to this. Ugh. You might would kick it away with a little low left English if the 9 wasn't there, right? He doesn't want to put the 4 in play to where Dennis, he wants to move the 4 out of play, right? If you're rolling out, you don't want it to be a ball he can snooker you with. So he should cut this up the rail a little maybe and then just leave a sliver of the 1, something like that. The thing is, when you're rolling out to this, yeah, you don't want to leave to where the guy can spin the ball. You know, like you just want to leave a sliver where he's got to hit it, just roll it to be able to do anything to you. And you're moving the 4 out of play to where the guy can't snooker you there. That's a smart shot. Yeah, he's going to try and edge this, so watch out. He might air the whole ball. And that's what you got to do. I mean, he wanted more out of that, but if you're Shane, you just got to, you know, make it as tough as possible, and maybe your opponent leaves you a little air, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he wasn't ever going to be welded up. He was always going to have some type of kick shot that wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
And now Dennis is going to be behind the 9. He wanted more out of that,
Yeah,
probably.
he did. He wanted to freeze him up there, didn't he?
This is going to work out. Well, I thought I was going to get behind there. Now the 1's going to lay up and give Shane a long shot, but a very makeable one.
Yep.
And this is a very crucial part of the match, not like they all aren't, but what's happening here before this 20-minute break is if Shane goes ahead and extends the lead from yesterday after all that's happened today so far, meaning Dennis had some real opportunities he got it down to 8 games. Who knows? It could really, you know, be a bad thing for Dennis after the break, right?
Yeah, it could definitely get ugly for sure.
I mean, if you say he ended it, you know, and just won the rest of these games at 100-83, you know, Shane gets to take a little break, probably regroup mentally a little bit, understand where he's at to win the match. Now he's coming all the way back here, it looks like. Well, that's gone. Yeah.
Man, he keeps kind of letting it out right there. I mean, I don't blame him there, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd almost rather take a tough shot on the 4 there, right?
Well, you could. The way he drew the ball, I know that helped him get off the rail more.
Yeah.
But he could have got off the rail pretty good to about the center of the table and worked from there pretty easily.
Yeah.
And just as I mentioned about closing these last 4 out before the break, a big scratch in the side.
Commentator curse.
Yeah, and you could call that a little unlucky, but hey, there was a chance of things happening.
Yeah.
He's going to be aggressive here, get close to the 7. I thought he would. I thought he would get a little closer, but pretty good actually.
Yeah. Cue ball just keeps rolling.
Yeah. Huge shot in this match right there, that scratch.
That was a big game there.
Yeah. Shane's breaking and getting shots, it looks like, most of the time.
See if Dennis can put a few racks together here, get back in this match.
The one's going to get a little kiss. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
3 to the 4 is a little work, but other than that, pretty good stuff here for Dennis.
Mm-hmm. And they both really have that breakdown now, don't they?
Yeah, they're getting plenty of movement. Like
Yeah.
like the 3-point rule with the head string hasn't flirted like a non-compliant break in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ideal.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to get to the end rail on this table.
Sure
Not
is.
saying it should be a problem, but now he's got to do something much different than he planned on. Can he go right by the 5? It's close.
That, yeah, either that or right into it, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good shot. Nice little break and run there by Dennis. I'd
Yeah.
like to see him get this under 10 games or, somewhere within 10 games. He can have a chance here.
Well, you're a one-pocket player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that big difference in a guy needing 1 and 2, right? Like when they need 1 and how much better you feel when they need 2 instead of 1. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Shane still needs 20-something games to win this match.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of pull left for sure. Dennis going to need to put a little package together, get back in this.
Oh, he missed the corner ball. And that's a big deal for Dennis on success with the break.
You think he's going to shoot at this bank or maybe try to lock him up?
I mean, it's natural to go around the 9 and back up table it looks like to me. But I think he's with the 2 and 6 there. I think he's going to go behind the 8 with the cue ball probably.
I like that too, yeah.
A lot of people miss that with the balls like this, you can double bank the 1 easily with the 5 and 9 there and put it in the middle of the end rail-ish and drop down to the opposite middle of the end rail. That shot lays a lot of times.
It does, yeah, you're right.
Where you're not trying to edge to 1 and go a couple rails behind 1 ball.
Get cute with it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You got a little more room for error with that shot sometimes. Well, he's cueing downward a little bit here.
Might be shooting at this bank, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure did.
And he came around between the 4-9.
Really good shot by Dennis there. I like being aggressive there too. I mean,
yeah, he knows he needs to run some racks, right? He doesn't need Shane kicking 1 in on him or kicking safe and all that. Okay, thought he caught a little thin to the pocket there. But sometimes the guys will instinctively catch it thin to the pocket to direct a cue ball like right there around the 8, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's about to be 10 games. I'll tell you
You
that.
ain't lying. Yeah, that scratch by Shane in the side turned out to be, what's that going to be, a 3-game swing?
Well, he was up 12, yeah, right? He was up 12. Looking to be 13
Yeah.
and only needing 3 to get to 100. He's saying, man, I can roll this in. He's just going to regroup, make sure he can roll it in. When he first got down on it, he's like, yeah, I can just roll this in. Just making sure, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That's a solid out by Dennis.
Cue ball, watch out. Ooh. So he's going to get a shot. Not sure. Yeah, the 284 may be playable. Looks like it.
Almost like wired, huh?
Yeah, he just hits the top side of the 8 a little bit. And the thing is, I think he can ease it in a little bit. Maybe it's totally dead. Just hits it square. Yeah, he hit the top side just a little bit. That's perfect. Got a little straight here. Is the 6 a little problem now? He's just got to be concerned about it. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
This table might have helped him there. Get a cut shot.
Get a shot in the side, huh? He overstroked that one, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what happened exactly. Loose, like maybe missed it to a certain part of the pocket. I don't know. Still should be okay. Tough shot, though.
Got back in line with that one.
Can drop down below the 9 or just stay above. Whichever one.
Yeah, this is exactly what Dennis needed right here to get back in this.
Little thin, but should be okay. Yeah, he's good. See, it just keeps coming a little bit. That extra revolution, I guess you might say, huh?
Yeah.
All right, the one's going to be in a nice place. What's going to happen with the rest of the balls? Not bad.
Not bad. The 4 almost tied up, didn't it? But it looks like he's all right.
Yeah. Just comes 2 rails. He's got a pretty big area for 2 rails for him. He's close to the 2. Doesn't want to get too thin on the 4. Looks like he got an angle. He can maybe get around the 8, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow, he's looking at playing between the 5-9, maybe. Wow. I guess there's more room there than appears. Okay, yeah. Looked like that had to be the way he wanted to go. Yeah, he's perfect here. He can wrap the corner and come for the 5 in the side, or he could hit it lightly and play the 5 in the upper left.
Yeah.
I think either works, actually. Needs a little left English.
Yeah, right around the 8.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I wonder why he got so tight on that ball. It's almost like he's stunned off that angle to
Yeah,
go around. I
like
thought
he
he could
drew
do it
it.
with a high like left English.
Yeah.
He put less left and a little stun rather than more left and no stun, right?
Yeah, maybe he's worried about bumping the 8 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and he's at the table, so
Yeah.
he's the one that sees the definite angles. He's not missing, though, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stroke there. He's perfect now. Kind of jabbed that one in there a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, didn't get the most out of the cue ball, but you're going 3 rails here, and so that way he doesn't have to put inside. Just become 3. Holy.
Boy.
He got a little closer to it than I thought he would. Never dreamed he would have flirted with the 9 off the 3rd rail. Again, though, he's a little quick. That's why he didn't get as much out of the cue ball on that 7, right?
Yeah.
And we don't mean to be critical when we say a little. I mean, it's absolutely just a little bit quick. That's all. I mean, these guys are pretty on point most of the time. 8 games. It's the least it's been, right?
It's down to 8. I mean, it's going to a few
Probably,
more games. It
yeah.
could get close. What's that, a 3-pack right there? That might be
More,
a
I
3,
think.
yeah. 3 or 4, maybe.
I think more. He scratched to go up 13 games, so maybe 4. Yeah, 3 or 4, yeah.
It turned out to be huge, that scratch on the side.
It ain't done.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's really not. It's crazy how that one mistake can cost you.
I was going to say, it's almost like he's got to lose the cue ball somewhere to not continue this run. And he may get a little slowed down here, folks. Now, does he have an edge on it? If he has an edge, he probably takes a chance at trying to get back behind the 2 and 5.
Yeah.
He could kick this also with high inside, knocking the 1 towards the side, letting the cue ball come towards the back of the 2 and 5.
Yeah, looks like he can see a piece of it.
Oof.
Oh, no.
All right, the 1 goes in the corner, maybe about a 3 here. You take a chance here, Chip? I mean, I like him shooting it, I think.
I mean, it's a big pocket down there for sure. Just wonder what he's going to do with the
He's
cue
just
ball.
going to lay the cue ball down behind the 2-5. He's not going after this one.
Yeah, that's probably the smart play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah, and he may get like almost ball in hand because of it.
Yeah.
He's going to be upset if he left something there. But the 5's got him, right?
It looks like it,
He
yeah.
can't curve into the 2 and swerve around because the 2's there. The 5's got him. So this may be a zigzag kick shot here. Left side, left long rail, right long rail, and dive at the 1, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's jumping it.
He's going to jump it.
He can get to a piece of it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I guess it's just a half ball then, I guess, maybe. Or
I guess it's just the 5 he's going over. So we'll see how he's rolling. Expect him to make a good hit here. I don't know if he's playing anything particular besides. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was just a tough spot there. Shane played a good safety on him.
Yeah, really good speed on the cue ball for Shane. Okay. Well, he's setting up a lot of angle there. I would try to get out to the center of the table here. He's going to look like he's going to play behind the 2 a little bit, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, he lessened the angle a little bit there. I think maybe he goes to the center of the table, right?
Table, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that because don't panic. You can always play the, where the 2's at now for the 5. You don't have to get for the 5 in the upper right. You have it for the upper left also. So, like, if you got a little flat, you don't get as good an angle on the 3, you just come across. I think that's one of the biggest things I learned is recognizing the balls ahead when they aren't laying difficult. Don't get panicky on it all of a sudden. Just keep making balls. Shane very happy to get back to the break position, I think.
Yeah, he needed to stop the bleeding a little bit after that scratch. Back to 9 games. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, the 2 ball's coming, too, if it doesn't get kissed. This is the shot he missed earlier that I was very surprised. I'm talking about now the 2 was a little closer to the rail. The 9 was in the exact position. He could get at the cue ball, and he overcut it a decent little piece. And this was when, I don't know if you were here. I'm sure you were here, but for about an hour or so, Shane made a few funny decisions, you might say, and just didn't look himself. And this was part of one of the shots that he just mishit. You just don't expect, right? But,
did he overcut it or?
Yeah, he overcut it,
Yeah.
and he had overcut a few of them. Now he's got to get through this a little bit. He can't come across and hit the 5 full with the 8 being there. So I don't think it's inside spin. Just make sure you stroke the ball. That's all, and that's what he did earlier.
Yeah.
He overcut the one earlier as well. Almost identical shot.
You know that had to be in his head, too.
Maybe.
Thinking about that, yeah.
Well, now you just float him down behind the 7 maybe? Put the 2 behind the 3 and hit right before the side and just trickle down towards the 7.
Yeah.
You might really weld him on the back of the 7
Yeah.
here.
I like that.
He could cut it and go 2 rails.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like the safety here for sure.
Yeah.
He's taking his time on this one a little bit. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just to make sure he locks him up here.
I think he wants to cut the ball more and run 2 rails behind the 7. That's fine, too. Probably a little more secure, meaning you're not really spinning the ball much, so probably should be pretty accurate here. It's going to get away from him a little bit. Still not easy, though, but.
Yeah, he would have liked to sewed him up there, but.
What's Shane going to do, though? This is a really tough spot.
What, like super thin maybe, or?
He's one of the best ever at it.
He is, yeah.
Nothing on the left side of the table to give him some protection, maybe get a snooker with. So
he does hit these shots really well, I've noticed.
I think him and Earl, the greatest I ever saw at that shot. He'll do it from distance on this also and just let the cue ball run behind the 5 is all 2 rails, real touchy. That's what I would look at, too, is the 2-rail kick. He's in such a bad spot right here. If he can 2-rail kick and come across the 2, he's got a better chance of getting safe like that almost. Oh, he's trying to spin off the end rail and catch it. Now, he may whiff the whole ball.
I know.
He may whiff the whole ball here. Hey, got him out of the woods for 1 shot.
That's honestly not terrible. I mean,
No, from where he was. And that tells you how difficult a situation he was in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He kicked at that ball on purpose.
I think
Dennis cutting it in.
Yeah, cut this in. Pretty thin cut. He's going to have to let Whitey go a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's not the type of one when you're stretched that you really want to apply a lot of left English. Maybe a hair of left with it, but normally you want to flat cut this in a little bit. He's putting a little spin on this. He's going to be on top of the 3. We're going to see if it gives him any kind of shot or not. He's okay.
Yeah.
But if you look at this other camera angle, you can see he's a little thin, so he's going to be running up table a little bit.
Yeah, come around 3 rails maybe, or I guess they could just roll it in.
Yeah, I think he probably rolls it in. I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't doubt he changes his mind and come 3 rails. So
Yeah.
I think he is. Really nice touch on that too. Just shows you how slick the table is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard to hold that cue ball up right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's coming 3. So watch out 9 ball. Might catch the 5 off the 3rd rail. Watch out 5 ball. Watch out. Ooh, almost got jacked up there.
He almost did. That'd make things a lot tougher.
He did a little bit. He's got to work again. It's getting from the 5 to the 7. Nice shot.
Yeah, it just looks like he's losing his cue ball just a hair off, like every other game, kind of. A little more angle than he might have wanted here.
Yeah, especially with the 9 there, right? I mean, kind of cuts you off just coming naturally straight up the table. So
yeah, he's going to have to put some spin on this one maybe.
Yeah. Normally, he'd shoot inside on this, Dennis would, normally, where the 8's at, I mean. But here he may do something different.
Yeah, he hit that one good.
Another great run out here. 97-89.
Yep.